Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be talking about ethical issues faced by international business. Ethics refers to accepted principles of right or wrong that govern the conduct of a person, the members of a profession, or the actions of an organization. Ethical issues in international business are rooted in the fact that political systems, law, economic development, and culture vary significantly from nation to nation. Again, in this video, we are going to be talking about 5 topics that are affected by ethical issues or the lack thereof: employment practices, human rights, environmental pollution, corruption, and moral obligations. When it comes to employment practices, the issue is that in some of the host nations, work conditions might not be considered illegal or unethical as they would in the US. Because of this, one of the main questions is whether or not a multinational business should make sure that work conditions follow those of the US. In the 1990s, Nike found themselves exposed because they were paying workers in Vietnam 20 cents per hour and required 12-hour workdays from them. This, as we know, would not be allowed in the US. This leads us to human rights. Again, not all nations respect human rights, so the question still remains. Should multinationals require that employees producing their products be treated as they would if they were located in the US? In South Africa, conditions have actually improved precisely because of pushback from multinational businesses. Another ethical dilemma is that of environmental pollution. Just as in the case of human rights, many nations do not have substantial regulations when it comes to pollution. To make matters worse, 2 of the main parts of the environment which are mainly polluted are considered public goods, meaning no one owns them. This means dumping in the ocean or polluting the atmosphere not considered illegal. But does it make it ethical? Just as environmental pollution is so widespread, corruption in business is just as common. In a case in Japan, Lockheed was found to have paid government officials $12.6 million in speed money or grease money. Because of this, in 1977, the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act was passed. It attempted to address a lot of the corruption happening between multinational businesses and the host nations. Some argue the bribery can reduce the return on business and lower economic growth. Others argue that in fact it may help increase investments in developing nations where political structures limit economic growth. Although economists don't agree on ethical aspects of corruption, still one should not engage, no matter how tempting the benefits might seem. Lastly, moral obligations. Philosophers argue that with power comes social responsibility. Multinationals should give back to those societies which allow them the opportunity to prosper and grow. Social responsibility is the expectation that businesses should consider the social consequence of their actions. Social responsibility can be thought of as the right way for businesses to behave. Power can be morally neutral. How multinationals use power is what matters. As we can see, while conducting international business, just because something is not considered illegal in other nations, it does not necessarily mean it's ethical.